Hello all, I'll give it that minute to log on. I suppose I should have tagged some First Nations in this, but you know what? Everyone will see it anyway, and hopefully this message will go to Perry Bellegarde, National Chief of the First Nations in Canada. I watched your live, I watched Trudeau's while I completed my laundry before I leave back to Alberta, jumping on an airplane. But the important thing is international law. Now, Perry, I gave you a written presentation in 2019 in Edmonton, Alberta, in the province of Alberta, live. One day I spent with all your chiefs of the region and overlapping region. The second day, same thing, but your narrative, you warned everybody, which was good, not to trust politicians as many come forward with all kinds of things. I gave you a written submission. I told you that I wanted to go forward with First Nations on the world stage. That's in writing. And if you haven't turned that over to all chiefs across Canada, regardless of the Alberta narrative of the time, I was in regional politics then. Now, sorry everybody. Now I go forward nationally, and I've acquired the P5, the Allies, and I'm in the middle now of working on the next resolution to be brought in by a P5 member to be voted on by the entire world. Now, Perry, the rumor is you're not running as national chief in the upcoming election, but you're national chief now. You saw my presentation. It's turning out to be not such a joke now. You understand, with the recent 182 discoveries, more on top of already well over 1,000, we're rapidly going to be escalating, probably everybody, well past 6,000 when all is said and done. 150 more schools to do. The fresh graves are mostly disturbing. And the very big issue here is, everybody, we've sailed past 1945. Worse, 1952. Everything that happens after 1952 convicts every politician in Canada of those years, both federally and regionally, unlike many premiers are going to tell you, these filthy autocrats. Yes, it was a federal system, yes, a mandate, but our CMP were hired by the provinces, even by municipalities, but that's governed under provinces, and absolutely yes, by the federal. There's no escape, as you all witnessed it in COVID. Premiers quite frequently in the federal power use their provincial power to take away your rights and freedoms, as they did to the First Nations. Gross genocide in Canada has been done a number of times, actually, but what we can present on the world stage is absolutely the First Nations. But it's been done by regional governance through federal powers, division of powers in the Constitution. I understand this white man's law, Harry. Being a white man, I made it a mission for all of your First Nations so that I wouldn't lie to Treaties 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. That's reality, my friend. I didn't lie. And now you hold that paper in your hands, and now it's coming to fruition, sir. The least you could do at this time is help me get an audience with the rest of the First Nations in Canada. I will return to Treaties 4, 6, 7, and 8, and 10 on my own. I can do that right in Alberta when the time comes. But the reality is this is coming quickly, Perry, within weeks. And when we talk about disturbing grave sites and having RCMP conduct the investigation, I would be very careful of that. As the perpetrator is also the investigator, that does not fly in international law. And I have much precedent to show all Canadians and First Nations Perry, think of the P5 as the national chiefs of the world, absolutely in control of the whole world. They will prosecute, punish, and determine through ICC everybody involved in this crown power, First Nations alike. This isn't a threat, this is just reality. If you don't believe me, take the time to review the great works of the ICC just since 2003. Never mind the P5 before that in their entirety since 1945. The world of the First Nations is going to get upset in narratives of what is Crown, what has become the allies of World War II, not addressed to any of you, even you, Perry. The reality is we have to start telling the truth, everybody. I will deliver that, and I will deliver the 5 allies. It's happening, whether people like that or not, whether you like the shirts I wear or how I communicate. The reality is I do very well on the international stage, and it's looking more and more like I'm going to be front and center on this, even if I don't like that, but I do like that, and I do want to give as much as I can, and I do and will work for free for the ICC, and I will help Karim Khan as much as he likes, as much as he needs. I will give as much as I can. Understand, the Vatican will not be hauled into the ICC. Those from the Vatican who worked for our government in Canada, Canadian citizens who chose to work for the Crown and perpetuate these crimes, will be addressed. Politicians are absolutely going to be addressed in key set years and even years before that. And I will show all of you in open transparency how and why. I will show you every step of the way I address Karim Khan and the P5. You will all be involved, and you can too be, Perry. You can too be involved in absolutely the resolution that will be designed, developed right here in Canada by First Nations and all Canadians, absent of all politicians and RCMP. You will be restricted from this. No office-sitting politician is welcome in any of this whatsoever. Zero, nada. You can't be included. That's the promise to the Allies. That's to our war veterans. I am not a communist. I don't have to be. If you read the UN Charter of 1945, you'll find that these are all legal governments. The people of Canada and the First Nations people, when presented with the best experts in the world, will decide all these things, absent of all the filthy crown corruption, colonialism of your absolutely autocratic government. They won't be included. They will be given the option, if we win a minority government, they will all be given an option after we lock out every legislature and the parliament entirely to go out unto their constituents in the federal and provincial to administer this. Now, if they don't, they don't. We'll still have to pay them. But you, the taxpayer, can think about that when you're writing the constitutions and doing the constitutional conventions. How should these politicians be treated? I think they'll all come on board from every party. I don't think they have a choice. What kind of filthy loser would collect a check for sitting on their fat ass when the people have the power? That's what I will do, and I can do that in no less than 30 days from the day of being elected all the way to Ascension Day. 30 days. That day of Ascension, it will be done entirely. So everybody knows, I'm going to give a couple little leak platform incentives to make CCP completely different than any party you've ever seen in your life in Canada, is the fact that we're going to need 13, I repeat, 13 loyal Canadians who will swear an oath to you, the people, who will not break. These will be your Governor Generals and absolutely the Governor General to replace on Ascension Day. That's what we're looking for. Outstanding individuals who cannot be broken in each province and territory, and absolutely one outstanding Canadian who will have to be the Governor General. This is reality beyond the 338 EDAs, beyond the 338 MPs. A lot of people don't understand that Canada will be revamped entirely. You, the people, are getting the power. Now we need the 338 MPs. It's important, but not before we establish EDAs, which means registration. But on top of all that, more than any other party, we require no less than 14 outstanding individuals in Canada, one from each province and territory. They have to be unbreakable. It's not about being wealthy, that's what's called for. It's also called for that they could be famous, but they absolutely have to be also a friend of the Prime Minister. So if I win a minority, these people don't have to be famous. They don't have to be first-class citizens as defined in our Constitution as the Titanic. They don't have to be that. They could be any of those things. But I'm going to require that they have to be a personal friend of mine. I'm going to make that, and they're going to have to go through an interview process, and they're going to have to swear an oath to you, the people. They're going to have to sign a contract to that oath that can't be broken upon Ascension Day. So you all have a mission to do, even with these 338, and to do with the 338 MPs to run in the majority cast in the election. A huge feat. We have a little over 2 years to get that job done. It's we're already 6 weeks behind my schedule, and that's what has to be found. 14 outstanding individuals from each territory and province, and absolutely one to represent all of Canada. They cannot be bought, cannot be broken, must swear an oath to all of you, the people. They also have to sign a liability form on that. Should they breach that, they will be civilly liable. We also need a society. We're going to need a number of them. There's so much more work beyond any political party you've ever all seen in your lifetimes. Never been presented in Canadian history. I'm going to present a role unlike anything Canada's ever seen, just to ensure you, the people, get everything I promise. And should I win a minority government, that will happen, absolutely. Thank you, everybody. This is my last video. I'll probably shoot pictures from the airport and views and stuff, and I'll shoot pictures at home, and I'll shoot live on Canada Day for a very special presentation. Serious and hardcore. Bye all.